Welcome to tonight's broadcast of Southern Virginia University Women's Soccer versus the Greensboro Pride here from beautiful Buena Vista, Virginia at Knight Stadium. The fall colors are out and we've got a nice crisp fall night here, Tyler, as the league leading Southern Virginia University Lady Knights welcome the currently 6th place Greensboro Pride here in the USA South Conference.
Yeah, expecting a great matchup today. Southern Virginia University women's soccer team currently 6-0 in conference play, looking for their 7th win, and Greensboro is coming in with a 2-1-2 record for conference play this season. SVU coming off a 7-1 victory over Pfeiffer University just last week after that 0-3 loss to Christopher Newport, the number 2 ranked team in the country. So Knights looking to keep this hot streak going in conference play.
Yeah, you mentioned that Pfeiffer game. McKenna Winterton scored a hat trick in that game, and with that hat trick, she garnered Player of the Week award for the USA South Conference. So the Knights will look to her to continue her hot streak. And when we mention the 6th place Greensboro Pride, Tyler, that might be a little bit of a misleading standing right now. They've played one less game than the Knights. They're 2-1-2, so they've only dropped one game in conference play, which makes them a dangerous opponent tonight.
Exactly. This isn't a game to, just forget about. This is an important matchup for SVU. They're in control of their own destiny right now for the postseason, so this is a must-win game for them.
Very good. We'll quickly go over the starters here just as we await kickoff. In goal for the Pride, Sophia Pagnamenta, Abby Romanisco, Clady Olszewski, Julia Howland, Mallory Carter, Amory Skinner, Kelsey Jarrett, Hannah McCarthy, Savea Ekstrand, Skylar Mathis, and Kiara Hemmons will be the starting 11 for the Pride as the game just gets underway here with the Knights in possession, quickly stolen away there by Kiara Hemmons. And back to, we have a throw in, so we'll quickly go down with the Knights starters. Katrina Gardner gets the starting goal. Haley Gadd, Paige Varvarigos, Claire Stevens, Mattia Murray, Ella Thomas, Mabel Harris, McKenna Winterton, Ellie Owen, Annalise Huber, and Natalie Blazer round out the starting 11 for the Knights. There's a free kick sent toward the area. The Knights are there, and Katrina Gardner will haul that in. So a little bit of an early threat there by Greensboro. Tyler getting that free kick from about 30 yards out, but the Knights defended that well.
Yeah, and Greensboro coming out here aggressive. The Knights started with the ball. The Pride was able to get the ball pretty early, force it out of bounds, get a free kick on the side, and they almost got there.
McKenna controls the ball right around midfield. Drops that off to Paige. Pushes that through to Natalie Blazer. And Claire Stevens will bring that up on the far side. Actually, that's Annalise Huber there. A long shot toward goal. And Pagnamenta picks that up for the Pride. You mentioned, Tyler, sometimes this can be a tough game where you come off a game where it was 7-1. A lot of players got in the game, a lot of scoring, and then have to regain your focus here for another conference matchup against a very good and strong Greensboro Pride team.
Yeah, Greensboro has 19 goals on the season versus their opponent's 13. So this is a team that can strike when they need to. Averaging 1.46 goals per game.
Going to be a foul there given by Greensboro. So the Knights will put it in play about 30 yards out. Audrey McKeon was that. Ball into the area. McKenna gets a head on it, but that'll fall out of bounds. Greensboro restarts play here. Haley Gadd comes up, makes good defensive play on the ball. Knights now control the ball. Claire Stevens with a good cross. Page. Good through ball by Mabel, but just a little beyond her teammate. Can you tell who that is on the far side in the orange shoes? Ella Thomas was the intent. McKenna now in the box with a shot on goal. Pagnament is able to knock it away. Mabel Harris able to come back. Ella Thomas. Knight still controlling about 25 yards out and a shot on goal. And that's pushed up and over by Pagnamenta. Ellie Owen with that shot from just about 23 yards out. And Pagnamenta was able to jump and reach that and push that over the top of the goal. So we'll have the first corner kick of the game. Ella Thomas put that in play. Good ball to the area. McKenna just gets pushed away. She tries to get her head on it. Claire Stevens with a good move. And she'll make a cross to the area. Intercepted by the Pride. Annalise was able to win that back for the Knights. And Mattia Murray with some good play. Leaves that for Claire, and she'll make a cross just up and over the head of Mabel Harris. But a good play there by Mattia, looking to make something happen here early on.
Nice play by Mattia. Mattia had won a goal last game against Pfeiffer.
Pride look to get something started here on their own end. Knights play their customary tough defense and win the ball. They'll send it all the way back to Gardner in goal. She'll survey the field and begin the offensive attack by sending it to Gadd, to Ellie Owen. Good ball to Murray. Just gets away from her, but she continues to apply pressure on the Pride. And they'll send that, and that'll end up at the feet of Ella Thomas. To Paige. To Mabel. Mabel with good intentions there, trying to find Natalie. And then the Knights will send that down the far side. It'll make its way, the ball make its way out of bounds. That'll be a throw in deep in Pride, in the Pride side of the field. McKenna. Touch to Ellie Owen. And good defense there by the Pride's Kiara Hemmons. She'll send that out of bounds off a Lady Knight. So the Pride have a throw in on the far side. Haley Gadd across the field to Claire Stevens. And she sends that just too far out in front of Ella Thomas. So the Pride again with a throw in near midfield. Yeah, the Pride also boast a good defense, Tyler. They've only given up 3 goals in conference play. The Knights gave up their first goal in conference play Saturday against Pfeiffer.
Yeah, both these teams have pretty stout defenses. As you're saying, like 3 goals in conference play so far for Greensboro, only playing 5 games, averaging less than a goal a game in conference play. Up that one.
Good long shot there by Ella Thomas. I think the goalie thought she was trying to send that into the area, and it surprised her a little bit. Right on her line, she had a jump. She popped the ball up to herself, though, and was able to bring that in. So, good idea there by Ella. She'll quickly win a throw in there at midfield. So we see a similar tempo to what we're used to, Tyler, with the Knights. Gain possession and quickly build an attack and hopefully get a shot on goal. That ball gets away from Natalie, but kicked out of bounds. Will be a throw in for the Knights. Paige. Mabel fights for the ball. Natalie will come away with it. Knights will send it back to the middle third of the field to reset. Good cross. Good defense played by the Pride, though, and they'll send that out. It'll be another kick, another throw in for the Knights. Want to welcome everybody here to the broadcast, whether you're a fan of the Knights or a fan of the Pride. Hoping to bring you a very good game, soccer match tonight here from Knight Field. Claire Stevens approaches, gets it to McKenna, and she'll turn and go for the one time and not quite connect as well as she would like to, and that'll get into the arms of Sofia Pagnamenta for Greensboro. She'll send that ball toward midfield. It's headed and quickly controlled by McKenna, 20 yards out. Makes a cutback, tries to push it through to Mattia, but again, good defense by the Pride. That'll result in a throw-in. Claire Stevens will take that. Finds Natalie to Ellie Owen. She's able to reverse field. A good ball played to the middle to Natalie Blazer, trying to get her shot. And she'll turn and get one toward the goal, but that's easily brought in by Pagnamenta once again. So the Pride will reset.
Nice shot by Natalie Blazer there, but the Pride's goalkeeper was able to stop it in. Natalie Blazer also had a goal the Knights' last matchup against Pfeiffer. The Pride will get a free kick here around midfield. Number 4, Julia Howland, will be taking this kick.
Pride attempt to put one down into the area that's knocked away by the Knights defense. But now that's number 3, Cassidy Olszewski, makes a little run on the near side. And then Ellie Owens able to intercept a pass, kick that out of bounds. Will be a throw in for the Pride. Really the first sustained attack here by the Pride of this first half. Most of the match has been played thus far on their defensive end. Little foul down in the corner, so Claire Stevens will take the free kick for the Knights. Natalie brings that down. Little scrum for the ball and ends up out of bounds, so throw in for Greensboro. That's taken by Savea Ekstrand, number 20. And another throw in here will happen for the Knights. McKenna trying to create some room for her to operate. That's one thing we're seeing here, Tyler. We know that Greensboro's tough on defense. And the Knights have been able to move the ball forward, but once they get in that final third, space has been hard to come by.
Yeah, I know a lot of kind of back and forth. The Knights have been able to keep the ball relatively on the Pride side of the field. Right now, the Pride doing a good job of working on the Knights' territory. But, both teams have stout defense, as we've been mentioning, and getting past that last layer of defense to make a shot on goal is going to be difficult tonight for both teams.
That was Annalise Huber running down that long ball by the Pride. Ekstrand. And that ball ricochets off two Knight defenders. So this will be the first corner kick of the evening for the Pride.
Now number 20, Savea Ekstrand on the corner, going to take the kick for the Pride. It's like number 2, Abby Romanisco is in goal.
Headed out, and the Pride falls to the feet of number 17, Hannah McCarthy. She pokes it toward the goal, but that goes up and over. And so now here the Knights will begin on offense. That ball's intercepted by Ekstrand. So again, the Pride remain in the Knight final third. McKenna now with a little bit of space opens that up for Mattia. A run here. Natalie's calling for it. And Mattia places it out there for her. Little cross. Looking for Mabel, but once again that Pride defense jumps in there and sends that out of bounds for a throw-in. Taken quickly by Claire. Good cross by Mattia. And Mabel brings that down, but Greensboro quickly able to turn that upfield, but they lose that out of bounds. That's number 3, Cassidy Olszewski, they were looking for. Claire Stevens quickly gets the ball into McKenna. Makes a good turn. She's being closely watched by 2 Pride defenders. McKenna creates a little bit of space, trying to get across, but that's blocked by Ekstrand. Claire with a good ball into the middle, but that's also turned away by number 4, Julia Howland. Sophomore defender for the Pride. Annalise looking to make a little run. She gets through the Pride defense, and then that ball's knocked away from her as she entered the final third. Good play on the ball by Mattia. And now McKenna about 40 yards out to Natalie, back to McKenna. McKenna making a run. She's going to have a shot. Mabel comes up, and she takes the shot, and that is stopped by Sophia Pagnamenta. A good little play there. Natalie to McKenna. McKenna making a good run and left that for Mabel to come up and hit that toward the goal from about 12 yards out, but Pagnamenta was well placed. Knights back in possession of the ball. Throw in. That's Natalie and a cross by Ella Thomas. Ellie Owen leaves it for Paige. Finds Mattia Murray. Now Claire making a run on the near side. Claire crosses to the middle, and there's Mattia. And again, Pagnamenta comes out off her line, and she's able to stuff that attempt by Mattia. Mattia found herself open after the ball glanced off a Pride defender, but Pagnamenta had made a good, aggressive move off her line.
Nice job by Greensboro defense to keep an eye on that ball and kick it out there once it got loose.
Good play by Haley stepping up to keep that ball here on the Pride side of the field. Ella and Mabel battle for the ball on the far side. Haley once again steps up. She finds Natalie. Natalie with a backheel pass, but Greensboro is able to get in between that, between the ball and the Knight player. Natalie still on the ball, finds Mabel. Ella Thomas to Ellie Owen, and she'll take a shot. Ellie Owen with a shot from about 15 yards out on the far side, and that just goes across the face of the goal and out of bounds. But once again now here in the last 3 or 4 minutes, Tyler, we're seeing the Knights really putting a lot of pressure on that Pride defense.
Yeah, the Knights been able to get a few shots on goal. Pagnamenta's been there to save most of them, the ones that have been on goal. So, that Pride defense mixed with Pagnamenta, staying focused in the goal, still remains scoreless here.
Greensboro attempts a long ball, but Ella Thomas is there to bring that in. She sends that to Gardner, who sends the ball out of bounds on the far side, and it'll be a throw-in for Hemmons of Greensboro.
Katrina Gardner in at goalie today. The Knights have been having kind of a rotation at goalie this past season. Katrina Gardner, when she's in goal, she does a really good job. Has good command of the box, telling defenders where they need to be. She's a real leader on this team.
Long ball hit back toward the goal. Katrina's there to haul that in. That was number 6, Mallory Carter, taking that long attempt. Gad gets the ball to McKenna. She pushes that off to Ellie Owen. Or Page, rather, my mistake. And then the ball played forward, and Claire Stevens is unable to get to that one, so a throw in for the Pride. Goes right to 2 Knight players, so just like that, the Knights are trying to get something started. Hemmons from Greensboro comes up. She takes the ball, plays a good ball toward the middle, but that gets by her teammate, and Claire Stevens will just see that ball out of bounds, so it'll be a goal kick. It was Hemmons looking for number 3, Cassidy Olszewski again. But good defense by the Knights to get between Olszewski and the ball and able to send that pass out of bounds. Here's Mattia. Gets it to Natalie, to McKenna. And McKenna's off and running. She outruns Pride defender almost immediately. Mabel Harris. Pride send that back, and there's Paige. Out to Claire. Claire making a little run. She's got Natalie. Natalie with the cross. That goes off the Pride defenders as well. So Claire back at it here on the near side, about 35 yards out. Straight into the middle to Ellie. They go around the horn, and there's Mabel Harris. To Natalie, back to Mabel. Now Mabel's going to have a shot. That gets by Pagnamenta, but just a little bit wide of the goal. So once again, well-played offense there. A good possession there, Tyler. Comes away with a shot on goal, but just a little wide.
Yeah, well done by Mabel Harris to maneuver through the defenders to get a 1-1 on the goalie. Fortunately, it was a little wide, but nice play offensively by the Lady Knights.
We're seeing some really good play there by Natalie Blazer, in the starting lineup tonight. Coming off that goal against Pfeiffer, but her and McKenna, her and Mabel right there, she's really playing the part of the playmaker.
Natalie Blazer, a freshman from Draper, Utah, played at Corner Canyon High School. Just a freshman, but she's already making such an impact on this team, especially this late in the season.
Mattia will send that wide to the far side. Ella Thomas making a little run to Mabel. And that to Natalie, and she just misses her target, but no problem as Mattia Murray regains possession. Claire sends that ball to Ellie Owen, and that's just a little ahead of her, and Greensboro will usher that ball out of bounds for a goal kick. Mabel Harris comes up to apply some early pressure. Hemmons And now Blazer comes away with the ball here about 40 yards out. Knights open that up. There's Ellie Owen. She'll send that wide to Ella Thomas. Mabel with a touch. Didn't quite get enough on that. She was trying to redirect that to Ella making a run toward the corner. Good idea, but just couldn't quite get enough foot on the ball to direct it where she wanted to. Now McKenna leaves in the middle for Natalie. Back to McKenna, just a little behind her. But again, very good idea there by Natalie. Really playing well tonight on this front line alongside McKenna and Mabel. Cross toward the middle. Matia's trying to bring that in, but doesn't get to it before the Pride defender. Ekstrand now has that. She'll send that forward. Romanisco brings that down. Ball's played forward. And now Page has the ball back. Knights play on the Pride side of the field.
Knights doing a good job of keeping the momentum in their favor. Been working a lot on the Pride side of the field this evening.
Errant pass there, and the Pride trying to build some momentum to cross over to the Knight side of the field. There's a long ball that misses Olszewski and will roll all the way to Gardner back at the top of the area, and she'll send that over. And so the Knights will begin to build an attack heading the other direction. Varvarigos to Ellie Owen. And she's defended well there by Amory Skinner. Skinner is the offensive leader for the Pride. We haven't heard much from her so far tonight, but she leads the team with 8 goals and 1 assist on the season. So look for her to build and get stronger as the game goes on. She's spent most of her time around the midfield so far. Of course, any team that's preparing for McKenna Winterton, they know they're going to overload the backside just a little bit. Don't want to give her too much space.
McKenna Winterton, as we mentioned before, had that 3-goal hat trick last game against Pfeiffer. Has 10 goals on the season.
And there, just as we start, as we mentioned, Skinner's name, she plays a couple really nice touches on the ball to push that forward. Eventually the Knights come away with it. Claire Stevens reverses field to Ella Thomas, and she plays that ball forward. But Mabel is not going to be able to go get that. So the Pride will send that, and that'll go out of bounds. Looks like we'll have 4 substitutions coming on the field for the Knights. We got number 14, Jane Peterson, on the field. Number 8, or number 11, rather, Madison Solis. Number 21 is Tessa Miller. I got 3 out of the 4, Tyler. Can you tell which one I'm missing? Tessa with a good turn here on the near side. And that'll be picked up by Pagnamenta. She'll send that ball toward midfield.
Audrey McKeon, number 22, will be the 4th player that was subbed
There we go.
in.
Number 22, Audrey McKeon.
McKeon assisted all 3 goals that McKenna scored last game. She's an important part of this offense as well. So many great offensive players on this Knights team, as well as defensive. Pretty well-rounded team the Knights have this season.
And there was Skinner making a little bit of a run there. An attempt from about 35 yards out, and it sells just a little wide. Also, we'll mention tonight that the Knights are playing without Courtney Montez, Macy Rackham, and Morgan Romney. Neither of those three will be available to see the pitch tonight. So that was part of what facilitated the need for the change in the starting lineup. But as we know, this year the Knights have some very good depth, so these players just came on the field. They've seen a lot of time. And you never know, Tyler, where that spark's going to come from.
Like I was mentioning before, there's so many great players, that have been involved in the offense this season. Tessa Miller and Audrey McKeon.
Great touch there by McKinnon. Goal!
That was Tessa Miller, number 21.
A great run there by McKenna. She was looking. She had one player wide here on the near side, looking like she was going to go there. And at the last second, she hit a little toe pass out front. And Tessa Miller was able to get on the end of that and put it to the back of the net. So just like that, we're mentioning you never know who it's going to be. And Tessa Miller comes through, gets on the other end of that pass from McKenna Winterton to score the first goal of the night.
Tessa Miller, freshman from Lehigh, Utah, played at Skyridge High School. That would be her second goal on the season. Was able to score a goal earlier this month against Brevard College.
Just like that, the Knights have the ball back on the Pride side of the field. Goes all the way to Pagnamenta in goal. She sends that forward, and now Huber brings it to the ground and sends out wide to Audrey McKeon. Audrey battles. That ball will go out of bounds, and the referee will signal a throw-in for the Knights. Audrey quickly takes that and is quickly sent back out of play. Another throw-in. Knights in control with a cross. McKenna trying to come up with a shot, but the Pride are able to knock that away from her. Skinner. And then Haley Gadd comes up from off her defensive line and redirects that ball. McKeon now in the middle of the field to McKenna. That's a rare missed touch by McKenna. And the Pride are able to send that the other direction to put an end to that little attack. Skinner for the Pride. Looking for some support. She's hounded there by two Knight defenders. Ella Thomas comes in, and she's able to take that. And Elise offers some assistance, and the Pride send it back toward the far corner on the far side. That'll go out of bounds. We'll have a throw-in. That'll be for the Pride. It's quickly taken. I believe that's Skinner on the ball, trying to get a shot off, and eventually she does. And that'll make its way safely into the hands of Katrina Gardner, who throws that upfield, but that's quickly taken back by the Pride. And now Jane Peterson, she comes out of the pack with the ball. Running to space, pushes to Audrey. Audrey with a good touch up forward. But that'll just make its way out of bounds and be a throw-in for the Pride.
Nice job by Ella Thomas to run up the sideline to stop that progression by the Pride.
Like the Pride have made 2 substitutions here. We'll have a throw in. Actually looks like there was a foul called, so the Knights have the opportunity to send a free kick deep into their offensive end. Audrey McKeon, she's going to be able to chase that one down. She's got McKenna out front. She plays that a little too far. That ball go out of bounds. So throw in for Greensboro. We'll hurry and take this opportunity to thank the following sponsors for their continued support of Knights Athletics: Cornerstone Bank, Mill Creek Orthodontics, River Crossing Apartments, Straws, Drinks and Eats. I believe this Friday night we'll have the local band Fought Gut performing there. Grace Automotive, where SVU students and staff receive 10% off their vehicle maintenance needs. Papa John's Pizza, locally owned and operated. Vinyl Cuts, The Beeve, Sweet Souvenirs, and Katana Sushi and Hibachi Express. If you would like to partner with Knights Athletics to promote your business to the Knight Nation, please contact Brett Schroeder at 801-633-1894. Again, we want to thank all those sponsors for their continued support of Knight Athletics. Return to action here with the Knights trying to find an attempt on goal. Pride plays some good defense. They'll come away with it. They'll try and make their way up the far side of the field. And good defense there. Annalise steps up and takes that. Ellie Owen fighting for the ball. And eventually the Pride are able to poke that away. Looks like Ellie's going to be called for a foul, so it'll be a free kick for the Pride as we approach 10 minutes left in this first half for the Knights. Lead 1-0 off a goal by Tessa Miller, assisted by McKenna Winterton.
Looks like the Knights made a substitution. Number 20, Gracie Duncan, now on the field for the Knights.
Good ball played forward there by Ekstrand, but no Pride player was in the area to run that down and make an attempt. So the Knights quickly send that up the field on the far side. McKenna gives a little chase to apply a little pressure. Tessa Miller now, she'll apply pressure, and the Pride push that forward. It's immediately kicked back. McKenna now. Nice touch forward. A good little play by McKenna there. She had Gracie Duncan and Tessa Miller. Either one of them could have ended up on the end of that pass. But the Pride take it away. They're looking to build an attack, and that's Gracie Duncan with the defensive effort. Haley Gadd, Maddie Staples now on the field for the Knights. Good idea by Tessa. Just a little out front now. Good play there by Audrey. But Greensboro steps between the ball and McKenna to take that away. But as is so often the case, the Knights quickly regain possession and build once again. Nice heel touch by McKenna. Doesn't quite make its way to Jane. Maddie Staples. Audrey makes her play on the ball, but again, the Pride come away with it. Two Knight defenders put pressure, and Audrey will come away with the ball. And just like that, the Pride will regain possession. Pride have to be getting a little frustrated on offense here as well, as the Knight defense quickly swarms the ball and is not giving room for the Pride offense to build an attack, Tyler.
Yeah, it seems every opportunity the Pride are able to muster some sort of offensive effort to get onto the Knights side of the field. The defense is quick to regain possession of the ball, and the Knights are able to drive back to the other side of the field.
There's a long ball played by the Pride out front, but Annalise Huber is able to run that down quite easily, and Katrina Gardner sends that toward midfield where Gracie Duncan battling Amory Skinner. Ekstrand to McCarthy. Try to play that through. McCarthy still on the ball, trying to turn and make a cross. But very good defense. I believe that was Ella Thomas out there with the defense, not letting that ball get anywhere near the middle of the field.
Thrown here for the Pride. Trying to get some offense going here. 6 minutes left to go in this half.
It's like 2 more substitutions made by the Pride. Ball played toward the area, but that's headed out by Tessa Miller. Now ball's played, finds its way onto the foot of Ella Ramsey, one of the substitutions for the Pride. And then that ball is launched toward the Knight goal where Katrina Gardner is able to come out, safely secure that, and she'll wait as the Knights will move toward the other end of the field and hopefully build an attack. Ella Thomas pushes that ball forward. Greensboro is able to kick it out of bounds to put a stop to that. Audrey looking for some room. Plays that forward. And the Pride once again are able to take that away. One of the rare times this season that we haven't seen McKenna Winterton on the field. Not uncommon at all for her to play the entire first half. Coach Dahl choosing to give her a little bit of a break here toward the end. Maddie Staples plays the ball for a very good ball. And that's number 13, Emmy Giles, into the game that is defended well by the Pride. Jane Peterson trying to find a little space. In the end, Ella Ramsey is able to split 2 Knight defenders, get that ball over to the Knight side of the field, but Katrina Gardner now able to send it toward midfield.
Amy Giles able to take the ball from the Pride.
It's number 9. Adriana Bloomer checked in for the Pride. There's an attempt. Tessa Miller gets on the end of that pass and wasn't able to get a good foot on that ball, but tried to do what she could to send that ball toward the goal. But Pagnamenta was able to get her hands on that. Maddie Staples again sends another ball forward. Pagnamenta runs that down, and so she'll send that back toward midfield. 3 minutes left in this first half. Score remains 1-0 for the Knights. A good ball played forward there. And the Knights are able to run that down, send it to Gardner, who's able to push that ball back toward midfield where Audrey McKeon battles for it. The Pride lose that ball out of bounds. It'll be a throw in. Audrey quickly. Ball gets by Be down in the corner for another throw in for the Knights.
Knights working deep in the Pride zone territory.
Gracie Duncan tries to make the cross, and the Pride get between that. Tessa Miller again. Jane Peterson with a back touch again. The Audrey McKeon off the back heel pass by Jane Peterson. Audrey McKeon takes a good shot at the goal, but again, Sophia Pagnamenta well placed and is able to knock that ball out of bounds for a corner kick. So Pagnamenta continues to play a very good game in goal. Here comes the corner. It's headed down to the ground by Haley Gadd, and Pagnamenta again will grab that and send everybody in the other direction.
Potentially dangerous situation there for the Pride. Audrey McKeon with a shot on goal. Kind of spins off the fingers of Pagnamenta and goal for the Pride. Sets up the corner kick.
Maddie Staples. She's sent a few good balls out in front of the offense here in the short time she's been on the field. Couple of them have been just beyond the range of the Knight offensive player, but good balls nonetheless.
1 minute left. Maddie Staples been pretty good defensively today. Had some nice steals and, as you mentioned, some nice passes to the offense.
There's Jane making a run, quickly bringing the ball to the ground. Leaves that off for Audrey. See if the Knights can duplicate what they did a couple weeks ago against Mary Baldwin and score a goal in the final seconds of this first half. Gracie Duncan with a good cross. There's Maddie Staples fighting for the ball in the area. 20 seconds left. Claire Stevens, or Madison Solis rather. And Greensboro is able to kick that across midfield. And we got 7 seconds left here in this first half. Tessa Miller will hold that and allow the final seconds to tick off. And we will arrive at halftime here at Knight Stadium. We got Southern Virginia University women's soccer team, number 1, currently in the standings for the USA South Conference with a 1-0 lead over the Greensboro Pride. It was a well-played first half, Tyler, with the 1 goal coming off some good play by the Knights.
Yes, excellent play offensively and defensively by the Knights so far this half of play. A lot of great efforts by the offense to take shots on goal. Tessa Miller with a great goal in the first half. Seen a lot of good stuff. The defense doing a great job of keeping the ball on the Pride side of the field to keep the pressure on them. They haven't given up too much opportunities for the Pride to take shots on goal. And so looking par for the course right now for the Knights. Entering the second half, 1-0, haven't let up a single goal yet. And things are rolling offensively for the Knights.
No, we'll look for an entertaining second half to be played and never count out the Greensboro Pride. So let everybody take a break and be back here in about 15 minutes for the second half. We want to welcome everybody back here to tonight's matchup between Southern Virginia Knights women's soccer team and the Greensboro Pride. We saw a very good action-packed first half of soccer, seeing the Knights get on the board with a Tessa Miller goal, assisted by McKenna Winterton here. We're just moments away from beginning the second half, where I'm sure Greensboro is going to come out fighting, trying to get an equalizer and see if they can't turn this match around, Tyler.
Yeah, the Knights have been doing a great job offensively. 16 shots, 11 of which have been on goal. Greensboro, this is half where they try to get back in this game. So far, they have 4 shots, 2 of which on goal. So we'll see if the Pride are able to come out aggressive and make a start.
So we get the action started here with Greensboro having the first possession of the second half. The Knights are able to quickly take that ball away. There's a good ball there for Ella Thomas.
Yeah, just going to kick it back to Trina Gardner to set the Knights up.
The other thing we should mention, Tyler, is how clean this game really has been. Very few fouls whistled by the referee. These two teams just playing hard, playing clean. It's always good to see. Hope to see more of the same here in this second half as Knights come away. Good ball laid out there. That's Natalie Blazer again. Sends it to McKenna. It's off the post. McKenna has it again. That ball's deflected by the Pride defender. Laid off to Ellie Owens. Claire Stevens will bring that around again, send that toward the middle.
Roll out of bounds. Throw in for the Pride.
Mabel Harris trying to get to the end of that and trying to send that ball back toward the face of the goal. Greensboro with the throw in. That goes off the Knights. Two teams volley the ball back and forth. Greensboro finally able to bring it to the ground. That's Amory Skinner. Sends the ball beyond midfield, but the Knights are able to chase that down. Page playing tough defense on Romanisco.
Abby Romanisco for the Pride. Currently has 4 goals on the season. Number 2, leading the team second place for goals scored this season. 2 of which came their last game where they beat NC Wesleyan, another USA South member, 5-0.
I think we may have had a handball there by Mabel Harris, so Greensboro's going to have a free kick. They're a ways away from the goal, but they should be able to get this to the face of the goal, or at least to the penalty area. That was taken by Kiara Hemmons. That ball sails out of bounds, so this will be a goal kick for Gardner. Stevens battles on the far side, wins a throw-in. Natalie battling over there, and Mattia comes away with it. Back to Natalie. Looks like they'll give a foul there, so Natalie's going to take this free kick, send it back to Haley. Reverse field all the way to Annalise. Pushes up to Mabel. Makes a good turn, but Skinner knocks it away. Romanisco. Sophia Iorio starting the second half for Greensboro. Mabel with the ball. She leaves that. For McKenna, back to Mattia. Mattia with a long shot. Goes off the hands of Pagnamenta, but she's able to quickly grab the rebound herself. Another dangerous situation there for the Pride. Ella Ramsey also starts the second half for the Pride. She attempts to make a little run. Pass there, and that is Molly Edwards. And Mattia Murray, she's going to win that ball. Send it to the middle of the field where Natalie's able to send that to Mabel. Mabel's going to send a long ball down the near sideline, hoping that Natalie can get to it, but a little too far out in front, so that'll go out of play and be a Greensboro throw-in. Ella Thomas is able to head that over to Annalise. Middle of the field to Haley. Mattia to McKenna. She's got some room here in the middle to operate. She'll poke that back to Paige, back to McKenna. Natalie clears and McKenna finds her. And now Natalie back to McKenna. First touch a little heavy. She's able to run that down, get it back, and turn toward goal. But Greensboro is able to get to that and send it back toward midfield, where the Knights quickly gather the loose ball and start another attack, Tyler.
Knights still doing good on time of possession. Haven't given the Pride too much to work with here in the second half.
So Coach Johnston for Greensboro making several changes to his starting lineup here in this second half. Got 2 or 3 players that weren't in the starting lineup at the beginning of the game, starting the second half, hoping to create a little bit more activity on the offensive end, I believe. Knights throw in.
Nice pass by the Pride to look to cross midfield.
Molly Edwards. There's Skinner making a run. Annalise is right there. And Annalise will put an end to that run and kick the ball out of bounds. Skinner. Claire Stevens shows up to help. Skinner still able to maintain control. She'll send that out. There's a ball played into the area where Ella Thomas is able to gather that in. Send it out to Claire Stevens, who is able to deflect that off of the Pride player, and that will be a Knight throw-in. McKenna comes up to receive that. Aggressive play by Mattia, but it's going to stay with the Pride on the throw-in. Ellie Owen. McKenna to Natalie. Mattia shows on defense and is able to knock that out of bounds. So throw in for the Pride. Claire Stevens. Natalie and McKenna there in the area trying to win this, find some space. Claire Stevens with a good run to steal the ball away. Sends the ball to the middle of the field, but Mabel isn't quite able to get there before Greensboro. Sends the ball the other direction. Good touch. It's number 12, Ella Ramsey, playing out front now for Greensboro. Good defense. And there we're going to have a foul. The referee is going to give that to Annalise. So foul called on Annalise Huber here at about the 32-yard marker away from the face of the goal. So the Pride, this is maybe the most dangerous situation that the Knights have seen so far tonight, Tyler.
Amory Scarin, as we mentioned before, leads the Pride with goals so far this season with 8.
Katrina Gardner gets her wall set up, and Skinner here prepares to take the kick. She gets it up and over the wall, and that sails high and wide. So the Knights easily survive that opportunity that the Pride had there about 30 yards away.
Looks like we'll have a substitution. Number 9, Ella Thomas is going to leave, and number 21, Tessa Miller is going to come back in. Tessa, of course, scored the lone goal of the game so far.
Ball played by the Pride back toward the area. Annalise is able to come gather that in to Mabel. Back to Annalise. Annalise with some room in front. Sends that over to Ellie Owens. She with the touch to Natalie Blazer. And now here comes Tessa Miller. And Tessa cut a little bit to the inside where I think Natalie was expecting her to continue that run right down the sideline. Ball goes out of bounds, so throw in for the Pride. It's already deflected to Haley Gadd. McKenna now with some space to Paige. Paige sends that into the middle of the field. And Greensboro is able to clear that. But Annalise once again finds the ball, as she so often does. Mabel Harris into the middle to Haley. She'll cross midfield and send that ball wide where Claire Stevens is making a good run. Claire sends it into the middle. Natalie's not able to bring it down, but now Mabel has it in the corner, looking for an opportunity to cross into Natalie. Natalie makes a turn. Paige tries to fight that, and now Annalise. A little chip shot toward goal. Goalie's not able to control it. Mattia hustles over and makes a quick shot at goal, but she had to get it past 2 defenders. They both are able to get in the way, and that ball will go out for the Knights' 3rd corner kick of the evening.
Dangerous situation here for the Pride. The Knights look to put themselves up by 2 scores here.
Another substitution. Jane Peterson comes in for Paige Varvarigos. And Jane's going to find herself with that corner.
Kick it a little too hard. It's going to almost go out of bounds, but they hold it back in.
Claire sent that one a little too far, but now the Knights have it. There's Haley Gadd about 40 yards out, trying to find Natalie. Jane able to settle that down. Haley once again finds McKenna. McKenna with a nice play through to Jane Peterson, but Greensboro is able to take that away. And now the ball stolen by Ellie Owens. She finds McKenna about 15 yards out. McKenna, just up and over the crossbar.
Barely over.
That ball flew between the top of the goal and the crossbar of the field goal unit for the football, so it just barely missed. Great ball by Ellie Owen to take that and find McKenna. McKenna wasted no time in sending that ball toward the goal. Jane battling with the Pride defender here. That's going to be Abby Romanescu. She's going to be called for the foul, so Annalise is going to step up. About 50 yards out, but this is about where we mentioned earlier the Knights were able to find a way to score a goal with 1 second left in the first half last week or 2 weeks ago against Mary Baldwin. So Annalise with the service. Ball finds its way to the ground. And was that McKenna once again?
Natalie Blazer with the shot on goal.
Natalie Blazer found herself with the ball right on top of her foot and sent it toward goal.
Ball just happened to land right in front of Natalie Blazer. She's able to take that shot on goal in traffic, but Pagnamento was there to save it.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that she was able to get that ball clear, through the crowd so cleanly. And then Natalie again. The Knights so quick to get that ball back up into their offensive end.
Haley Gadd chasing the ball down. She's going to kick it over to Katrina Gardner.
Katrina pushes that up to Claire, and Claire makes a good one-time pass. Now Natalie's got it in the middle of the field. Back to Mattia. Mattia, left-footed shot. She finds Mabel. Mabel's first touch is just a little out in front of her. Otherwise, if she'd been able to put that on the ground, she was going to have a great opportunity to turn and put that shot toward Pagnamenta. Haley comes up from just beyond midfield. She's going to take that ball forward to Mattia. Mattia turns. Claire's making a run. Claire will try and cut and send a ball to the area, but Greensboro is right there to kick that out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in. But the Knights will take the opportunity Knights and the Pride will both take the opportunity to make some substitutions. Tessa Miller goes off. Ella Thomas is back on. Actually, looks like Tessa's going over, just a change. She's going to go play up front. She'd taken Ella's position here, the first substitution. McKenna, she chases that ball down and makes good contact, sending a hard ball toward goal, but Pagnamento once again in the right spot at the right time.
The Knights continue to put pressure on
Amy
the Pride.
Giles, she's come into the game now to play up front. The referee is going to call a time. Nope, just a throw in.
A little under 30 minutes left to play. Looks like Greensboro's going to get a free kick here. About 20 yards out from their own goal. The Pride just trying to find some way to alleviate some of the pressure on their side of the field.
Yeah, once again, just like we saw in the first half, now these last 5 minutes, the Knights have really stepped up the pressure and been able to maintain possession of the ball deep in the Pride side of the field. Pride step up and kick that out of bounds, so it'll be a throw in for the Knights. That's Tessa Miller over there. Natalie bringing the ball well into the area, leaves it. Emmy Giles was able to take a swing at it, but did not make good contact. So Greensboro was able to turn that away. Once again, the Knights already. Good ball played there into the middle, but just beyond the reach of Mabel Harris and Jane Peterson. So Pagnamenta will send that back toward midfield. Natalie Blazer. She's had a really good game tonight. She's all over the field, Tyler.
She has had multiple opportunities to find herself to shoot on goal, but Pride defense been able to stop all of them so far. But Natalie Blazer, as you said, all over the place so far in this second half tonight.
Definitely making the most of her opportunity to start this game tonight. Really playing well for Coach Dahl. So throw in for the Knights to McKenna. McKenna lets it slide by, trying to find some space to get a shot or a pass off. She leaves it for Jane. Jane's shot is deflected. That's going to go out of bounds. We'll now have the fourth corner kick of the evening for the Knights.
Ella Thomas taking this kick for the Knights. She's going to send that right to the goalie for the Pride.
I don't think she quite got that one to bend the way she wanted to, so it fell pretty easily into Pagnamenta's hands. Now she'll send that toward midfield.
Knights quick to get it back to their own side of the field.
Just like that, Jane Peterson, and she sends that ball forward. Emmy Giles trying to chase it down. Actually, I just realized that's number 12. That's Bailey Ricker, not Emmy Giles, that came in on that substitution. 12 and 13 look similar here now that it's dark here and we're a ways away from the field, so apologize to Bailey and her family for not knowing that's her. McKenna making a run with the shot and just gets a little too much of that and sails a little wide of the goal. She had a really good look there, Tyler.
Yeah, McKenna's had a lot of great shots on goal today. Fortunately, they've gone a little too wide, but great job by McKenna to cut through those defenders and to create those opportunities one-on-one with the goalie.
So again, substitutions for the Knights. McKenna, she's going to go off the field. Audrey McKeon comes on. Madison Solis. She's got the ball now at midfield to Audrey.
Ella Thomas with the speed.
Jane with a nice turn. Annalise now able to run at almost full speed. And just measures the angle a little bit off there and sends that out of bounds. Trying to find Bailey Ricker there making the run. Annalise again is able to take the ball quickly from Romanisco. Gracie Duncan, another one of the substitutions for the Knights. Mattia making a good run. That ball is swung to Ella Thomas. She's got some space. She sends that to the middle, but Greensboro's able to get ahead on it. Jane comes forward, and that goes off her foot, the referees say, and that'll be a goal kick for the Pride here with just under 21 minutes remaining in this game. Once again, Tyler, we see Coach Dahl here taking advantage of the situation and letting some of his starters rest, get some more players out on the field to let them chase the ball around and get some experience here as we get toward the end of the season and near postseason play.
Yeah, a lot of young players on the roster. We see a lot of young freshmen on the field tonight making the most of their opportunity. Natalie Blazer. We saw some great stuff from number 13, Emmy Giles. A lot of young talent on this team.
Both teams battling in the middle third of the field right now. There's a long ball sent forward. Romanescu trying to get to the end of it, but Maddie Staples sends it wide. But Greensboro does come away with it, trying to find an opportunity to send that toward the middle of the field, but that ball will go out of bounds for a throw in. This is Romanescu. And the referee says that's still going to be a throw in for the Pride. But Tia Murray playing good defense. Pride intercept that ball. Skinner gets her pass deflected. But Greensboro, they find their way onto the end of that one as well. Until that ball rolls out of bounds, so it'll be a throw in for the Knights. Knights making two more substitutions. Paige Varvarigos coming back into the game. And number 3?
Looks like a number 3, Desana Grabarzik. As the Pride look to mount another attack on the Knights side of the field. Knights quick to stuff that one out again, though.
Ella Thomas with a good play to send the ball toward the other end. Play that back and out of bounds. So Thomas with the throw in to Varvarigos. Gracie Duncan. She finds, and there's a cross, and Pagnamenta again right there to haul another ball in, as she's done so often tonight.
Pagnamenta certainly has had her work cut out for her this evening here at Knight Stadium.
Thomas to McKeon. To Grabarzik, back to McKeon. McKeon finds a little space for Bailey Ricker. To Solis. Varvarigos to Solis. Plays out wide to the far side. And a good ball played into the middle. McKeon, and who comes away with that shot? That is Mattia Murray battling. Mattia battling, doing her best to try and find a shot.
Goal kick here for the Pride.
Tessa Miller comes off the field. Another Knight substitution. With number 26 now, Kaylee Hansen onto the field. Greensboro making a run here before Claire Stevens is able to control and send that out of bounds. Hemmons will come off the field for Greensboro as they make a substitution of their own. That's number 3, Cassidy Olcheski, coming back onto the pitch. Greensboro well covered on the far side by 3 Knight defenders. And the Knights will earn a goal kick. McKenna back onto the field. I believe Gracie Duncan comes off. Claire Stevens to Mattia. Bailey Ricker battling on the far side there, but Greensboro is able to win the throw in. Actually, the referee put the flag up on in the wrong direction, so it's going to be a Knight throw in. Claire Stevens to Mattia, back to Claire. She's going to send that all the way to the near side to Ella Thomas. Ball played forward to Audrey McKeon by Paige Varvarigos. Bailey Ricker, she's able to quite gain possession of that ball. Greensboro sends that out for a throw in. Going to have Natalie Blazer back onto the field. Looks like she will be replacing Bailey Ricker. Bailey came in and gave some good minutes to Coach Dahl here in this second half. Throw into McKeon, and she kicks one back across the goal. McKenna trying to find a way to turn and get a shot. Leaves the pass to Audrey with a cross. Ball's at the feet of Natalie, and Greensboro just gets enough of it to poke it away as Ella Thomas tries a bit of a long shot that sails out of bounds. Once again, we'll take this opportunity to thank all the Knights sponsors and their continued support of Knight Athletics: Cornerstone Bank, Mill Creek Orthodontics, River Crossing Apartments, Straws Drinks and Eats. Again, don't forget local band Fotgut this Friday, October 20th at Straws. Grace Automotive, students and staff of SVU get 10% off their vehicle maintenance. Papa John's Pizza, Vinyl Cuts, The Beeve, and Katana Sushi and Hibachi Express. If you would like to partner with the Knights Athletics to promote your business to the Knight Nation, please contact Brett Schroeder at 801-633-1894. As the Lady Knights continue to pressure the Greensboro defense. Able to get a ball there into the area, but once again turned away by this tough Greensboro defense. Tyler, they've been kind of on edge all night long with the pressure that the Knights offense has been putting on them.
Yeah, I know they've been pressured pretty much all night, but they've only let one goal slide by them so far. With 12 minutes left in the game, only down by one. As much pressure as they've been under, they've been holding up pretty sturdy so far.
Yeah, Knights have had a number of good looks and several shots on goal. And, I think the Knights feel like they probably should have another goal or two, but I think Greensboro probably feels pretty good with where they're at right now, only down one goal with about 11 and a half minutes left, where they'll try to find an equalizer. The thing they want to do here is just stay in the game. If they were to give up a goal right now, they'd come away a little deflated and have their work cut out for them as Mattia Murray gets a ball on the ground about 10 yards from the face of the goal. And that ball's going to go out for a corner. So as I was saying, a goal right here could be very deadly for Greensboro, where it'd be very difficult for them to claw their way back to a tie, let alone win. Claire Stevens sends that into the area. McKenna gets her head on that one and sends it toward the corner of the goal, but once again, Pagnamenta is up to the task and hauls that in.
There you go. McKenna was able to headbutt that in. She had a couple of Knights in the vicinity who could have knocked it in, but Pagnamenta in goal for the Pride was able to grab that one right at the right time.
Good ball by Mabel. Send that to the middle to Mattia. She's got options here. She's going to send a ball through, trying to find McKenna. Maybe a little bit of a heavy touch there, as McKenna is unable to run onto the end of that pass. The ball go out of play and be a goal kick for Pagnamenta. 10 minutes remaining in this match. Both teams battling for possession right around midfield. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a stoppage here as each side is going to make one substitution. Haley Gadd is going to go off, and I believe that's Annalise Huber making her way back onto the field. Throw in, and Ellie Owens able to beat her defender and make a good pass into the middle, but Greensboro defends that well again. Grabarczyk, a good run. Natalie comes away on the end of that to McKenna, and she's able to slide that over to Natalie, who is not able to connect well on that, making an attempt at a first-time shot on goal, but that just trickles away about 10 yards off the side of the goal. So another goal kick for Greensboro. McKenna quickly finds her way with possession. Good defense by Annalise there, as Greensboro had a player making a run towards space. Annalise puts a quick end to that. And Claire Stevens and Mattia Murray able to take the ball away. Now Annalise to Ellie. Back to Annalise, Claire, and Mattia. And Annalise comes forward, and she's got space now. She's got Natalie and McKenna making runs down the center of the field, and Mabel on the near side. She'll center that. Nobody will find their way to the end of that pass, and try as she might, Ella Thomas makes a good run all the way, but can't quite beat Pagnamenta to the ball. Mattia with a good play. Natalie comes away, and I believe the referee called a foul on the defender there. A collision between the Greensboro defender and Mattia Murray. So Claire Stevens will set up about 40 yards out from goal in the middle of the field. See if she goes directly toward goal or just tries to lay one out there for a teammate. Instead, she'll go far side to Annalise Huber. Annalise tries to make a cross, but that ball will go off the Greensboro defender and head out of play for the Knights' sixth corner kick of the evening.
Nice defensive play by Julia Howland for Greensboro, able to get that out there to prevent something from happening, but it's going to result in a corner kick here.
For sure, Howland made a good play there. Annalise has proven very effective when she has the ball in space, as she did right there. Stevens with the cross. Greensboro knocks it down and is able to clear that. So throw in from Stevens. And that'll go over the end line as well. So this will now be a goal kick for Greensboro, as we're just under 6 minutes left here in this match. We talked a little bit early on, Tyler, about Greensboro. Even though they hold the 6th spot in conference right now, they've played one less game than most of the teams and have proven tonight that they're a very dangerous team. Playing the number 1 team in the conference right now to 1-0 here, late with now just over 5 minutes left.
Yeah, Greensboro, pretty good team. They have a winning record on the season so far. We talk a lot about how the Knights have been really well, putting pressure on them today, but without that pressure, like we've been saying, they've only let 1 goal out pretty early. And through the second half, where the Knights have been applying pressure pretty much all throughout the half, they haven't let anything go in the goal.
Free kick after a foul taken by Stevens. That ball volleys around in front of the goal with a couple Knight players having an opportunity to put that in the back of the net, but can't quite do so again. Great play there by Pagnamenta and the Pride defense.
Looks like the ball went behind Pagnamenta for a little bit there, but thankfully there were some Pride defenders near the goal that were able to kick it out for her. Looks like there will be some substitutions here.
Hemmons back on the field for Greensboro. Sure, Coach Johnson over there trying to do as much as he can to put as strong of an offensive team here on the pitch here for this last 4 minutes. See if they can't find an equalizer. McKenna with the touch out to Gracie Duncan. Mattia back trying to find Gracie and Greensboro. A little bit of space, but find it difficult to outrun Tessa Miller. And then Annalise comes over to put an end to that little run by Greensboro. Maddie Staples back on the field as well for the Knights. Maddie's a solid defensive player. McKenna sends that to the far side. And there's Bailey Ricker back in the game making a good run. She's got some options in the middle of the field. She'll choose, I believe that's Audrey. Audrey battling a defender, trying to find some space, and she'll send that into Mabel, who makes a quick turn and shot toward goal, and Pagnamenta with yet another save, another turn, and there's an assist. That goes from Maddie Staples with a great cross, and McKenna with a one-time shot into the back of the net. And the Knights score their second goal of the evening.
McKenna Winterton now with 11 goals on the season. Excellent effort by all the Knights offense there. 3 minutes left exactly on the clock. Knights able to take this up 2-0.
That was one. Bailey Ricker with a good ball into the middle. Mabel, a quick turn, put a shot on goal. Pagnamenta was able to save it, but Maddie Staples made a run to the near side and quickly made a cross. It was about 2-3 feet off the ground, and McKenna just nailed it out of the air into the back of the net. That's the type of goal that'll be on her highlight reel for years to come.
Looks like her parents are down in the stands. Scotty's and mission counselors here. They look pretty excited to witness that goal. Fans here have been pretty good all night, cheering on their Knights.
McKenna once again with the ball and space, outruns Hemmons, leaves that for Bailey Ricker, and the Pride are able to come up and take that one away from her. Pride now really playing with a sense of urgency. Claire Stevens with a good ball, looking to try and find the foot of McKenna Winterton, but I think McKenna slipped a little bit there and wasn't able to come away with it. Jane Peterson now making a run. Actually, that was Grabarczyk, not Claire Stevens, that made that good pass toward Winterton. And now 1 minute left on the clock. Mabel Harris. Skinner with the ball played forward, but there's Grabarczyk again with the takeaway. Audrey McKeon battling at midfield with Skinner. Referee is going to call a foul on McKeon. Greensboro quickly takes a free kick. And there's a ball played into the middle. But once again, the Knight defense is there to stuff that. One more ball played into the middle. Ekstrand. Annalise Huber turns that away, and that will be the end of the match. With that late goal from McKenna Winterton, assisted by Maddie Staples, the SVU Lady Knights will maintain their unbeaten status in the USA South Conference with the 2-0 win over the Greensboro Pride. So, Tyler, once again, we talked about it all night. Greensboro, very difficult on defense. They played hard. They played well. But in the end, just too much attack from the Knights, and they were able to come away with 2 goals to put this game away late.
Yeah, props to Greensboro's defense tonight. They were under pressure all night long. This Knights' offensive attack was relentless, had the momentum most of the game, and they had plenty of shots on goal. In total, the Knights had 32 shots, 17 of which were on goal. So, all that pressure we were talking about the Knights were giving to Greensboro.
Yeah, Pagnamenta in goal had a very busy night.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shots to face, a lot of shots on goal. And, she turned away, most of them, all but the 2 that found their way to the back of the net. And I'm not sure there was much she could do on that last one scored by McKenna.
So, the offensive effort by the Knights, outstanding today. We saw a lot of young players step up that, first time being in that role, and they were able to do it well. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for these Knights in Greensboro. It's a hard-fought game. Defensively, you were playing all night defensively, and you only let 2 of those goals slide by. Great effort. And they go back home to North Carolina to play Meredith College this Friday, another USA South matchup they should be looking forward to. And the Knights will be on the road, I believe, this Friday playing William Peace. Or no, that's home.
That's actually home. That will be senior night here. So with that, we want to remind everybody to join us back here tomorrow night for the men's soccer. And Friday night will be the women's senior night here from Knight Stadium. I'm Colby Kemp along with Tyler Wright. Want to remind everybody to like, follow, or subscribe to Knight Broadcasting to catch all your favorite Knight sports. Good night, and we'll see you again tomorrow as the men's soccer club will find themselves in action tomorrow night. Good night.